Thank you all for joining the Elderwerks Virtual Senior Fair. This is really exciting. My name is Courtney Bayron. I am the Director of Community Relations at Waverly Inn, Memory Care, and Independent Cottages. And we have 4 different communities in Illinois, all Koelsch properties, all memory care. And one of the biggest parts of what makes us successful is Benjamin and all that he brings to the table. So wherever Benjamin is, there's always greatness that follows. We've worked together for years and he's always coming up with new ideas, new technologies. So I'm really excited to have him talk today. So he's going to present on video chat, a review of senior friendly options. We've used some of these prior to when we were able to do gate visits. So now we're doing gate visits, window visits, but we're also using FaceTime, Duo, and Benjamin keeps us up to date with technology. So a little bit about Benjamin. He is a social gerontologist and the director of people and culture, as Carol said. Empowering people to thrive no matter what health or cognitive issues they have is the focus of Benjamin's work. He's been a caregiver, an activity director, a lifelong learning center director, home repair coordinator, and all of those roles have helped shape his understanding of the unique needs of seniors. He guides the person-centered training for over 2,400 employees in 8 states at Koelsch and is currently implementing an evidence-based approach to care from France called Humanitude, which is absolutely incredible. He coaches 70+ wellness directors and has supported over 1,500 seniors. His passion is imagining the impossible and building alliances that make it possible. So thank you, Benjamin, and we look forward to hearing your talk.
Thank you, Courtney. Really appreciate that. I am so excited to be here today with each of you. I know we have 2 groups of people on the call today. We have some of you who are professionals who are out there in the field helping lots of different people who are aging. They may have dementia, they may not, but somehow aging is part of their life experience, as with most of us. But you're focused on that. And then others of you are family members who are trying to work with one family member, maybe 2, who are living with dementia or they are getting older. They may be a mother, a father, a spouse, a brother. And so I know I'm talking to each of you today. And my focus today is to deal with a real issue that's always been an issue. It's just gotten a little bit bigger. And that is, how do we stay connected to an aging relative when we can't visit very often? That's the question I'm trying to help us think about today. Before COVID-19 happened, this was still an issue. I used to run a memory care community, and in doing so, I knew many families who lived out of state. They were not able to be in the community very frequently, or they may have had jobs and not been able to come every night and visit their mother or their father or their brother, right? And so even before COVID-19, this was already an issue. How do I visit? However, we often accepted the fact that there just wouldn't be visits. We didn't do much about it. But as COVID-19 happened, what we began to see is governments all over the world shutting down the opportunity to visit loved ones face to face. And it radically made this issue a much bigger deal for families and healthcare professionals. So I just want to review some of the options that we have available to us to deal with this particular issue. That's what I want to work on today. How do I stay connected with an aging relative when I cannot visit? And so if you're a professional, I want you to think about it from this framework. I'm consulting with family members every day. I might be an executive director of memory care. I might be a social worker. I'm consulting with families every day. I need in my toolbox a lot of tools to deal with this issue. Or if you're a family member, think about it as, I want to learn what tools are out there in case I ever need to be more connected, or if I want to get my grandkids more connected to my mother, right? That's what I want us to think about. Now, a few tips before we get into some of the options that are available to us today. And these tips are tips for making a virtual visit better. Now, again, in-person visits are the best, but they're not always possible. You may live in another state. You may live 4 hours away, or you may not be allowed to visit for some reason. Okay, maybe you're doing a virtual visit. here's 7 things to consider, because what I see with a lot of families, especially when someone has dementia, is they just try to do a call that they would normally do, right? They just call grandma and they're just talking with grandma and trying to get her to answer, hey, how was your day? What happened today? What'd you eat for dinner? Oh, did you know the kids did this, the kids did that? And especially when dementia starts to become the bigger issue, it gets harder and harder to have conversations virtually. You start to get those blank stares. You start to get those, I don't know what we're going to talk about. We've talked about as much as we can possibly talk about over FaceTime, right? You start to get into that sense of, I don't know what to do on the virtual visit. So I would recommend a couple things. Number one, show pictures. With virtual visits, you can actually show pictures, especially if you're using Skype. You can do a screen share with Skype, or if you're using Zoom, you can do screen share, of course, and you can show your Facebook feed. You can show your Instagram feed. You can show what's on your camera albums, right? Your photo album on your camera. Get some interesting pictures on the screen to talk about, because that will open up so many more conversations and touch points. Tell stories. Instead of asking the elder, hey, would you tell me this? Or, hey, how's this? How's that? Tell them stories. Hey, Dad, when you and I used to go fishing together, you caught a really big trout. It was pretty amazing, Dad, right? That's going to start him thinking in ways that he's not if you ask just everyday questions. Give a tour. Take the camera, turn it around, and walk through your backyard. Give a tour of the backyard. If you're at the park, give a tour of the park. If you're at the grocery store, give a tour of the grocery store, right? Remember, the elder's not getting out much right now. And so opportunity to see the world is a really beautiful thing for that elder. 4, ask good questions. There's a website called timeslips.org, which many of you are familiar with, but they have a section called Beautiful Questions. And I think it's a really wonderful thing to do, is to have a couple questions in your back pocket when you're going to go talk to your father who is aging in an assisted living or living at home alone, 2 hours away, and you're going to do a virtual visit. Have some good questions, beautiful questions, questions that get them to share their wisdom. Not just, Dad, did you take your meds? Dad, did you eat? Dad, did you put your pants on? Dad, did you take a shower? No, I mean, let's talk about things like, Dad, I'm raising my kids and they've been talking back a lot to me. What did you do? How did you deal with that, Dad? Right? I mean, that's the kind of question that gets Dad to share his wisdom. And in many cultures throughout history, that is what our elders are valued for, is their wisdom. We don't tend to value wisdom as much right now. We tend to visit who knows the most about technology, but wisdom is really what will save the world, not technology. Number 5, interview them. Say, hey, I'm writing this little family newspaper and I want to ask you some stories about your life. You might have heard these stories 1,000 times, but you ask it in a way that he feels like he's officially getting an interview. You're going to get things out of him you never heard before. And if not, you're at least getting some connection through that opportunity. Six is read. A lot of times nobody asks to pray with them anymore. They were at prayer meetings. They were part of things where they were able to really be engaged in prayer, in communal prayer. And now nobody's asking them and there's no opportunities. You could do that over the phone, right? Now, before I talk about some of the newer tools that are now available to us that have just come out in the past couple of years, some in the past couple of months, I want to remind us of some things that are not new technology and are very effective. They last beyond that momentary virtual visit, right? You can plan virtual visits, which are awesome. I'm a big proponent of them, but then they're gone, they're done. But when you send a letter with some pictures in it, you send a postcard with a joke on it, that's something that elder picks up over and over and over and over and over again, and continues to be a part of their life, continues to warm them, continues to help them feel connected to their family or their friends beyond that momentary 5 to 10 to 20-minute virtual visit. So mail and the postal service is still very effective in connecting with our elders. In-person visits, of course, excellent to do, not always possible. I know that right now, I was just talking with Courtney earlier today, and in Chicago, they have finally opened up at our 4 memory care communities the opportunity to have in-person visits. Families schedule ahead of time, there's special seating areas, but families can be face-to-face with their loved ones once again, which I'm so grateful to hear that. And then landline phone calls, right? These are tried and true, and many seniors prefer a phone call over almost any other method. Another area of tools that are available to us, of course, that we all know may take for granted. These are things that are a little more new technology, smartphone calls, video chat over FaceTime, Zoom and Skype, texting, email, and sharing videos and photos over a phone, right? Over a smartphone. These are all wonderful ways to stay connected, and many elders, they can do all these things. And so you don't need almost anything else I'm going to talk about if you're in that situation. However, the reason why we're having this discussion today is because many elders have trouble with these things. Even those without dementia, many elders who did not live a life filled with technology other than the television, as far as communication technology and the phone, these are hard for them. Again, there's other elders that have used this extensively throughout their life. So what I've shown you on the screen, we've shown you all the tools you need to stay connected to that aging relative. However, many of you are on this call today because you know how hard it is to do something as simple as get grandpa to access his email and read it and respond to it. And it blows your mind how hard it is to get something that simple done. Now, before I talk about some of the technologies, I want to remind us of a couple of things. Number one, your likelihood of living longer increases based on the strength of your relationships. And the factor is a 50%. 50% likelihood that you will survive longer than your peers who do not have strong relationships. As you all have heard thousands of times, loneliness is as bad for you as 15 cigarettes a day, which means it's bad for you as not exercising, not eating right, and being obese. So just keep that in mind. We talk a lot about exercise. We talk a lot about nutrition. We talk a lot about these very kind of physical things are easy to measure, easy to say, yes, I'm doing it right, or no, I'm doing it wrong. But loneliness, friendships, these are just as important as all those other things. As you can see on the screen, there are several things that research shows a strong positive impact that relationships have upon different aspects of our body, like inflammatory processes and the immune system. And then weak social support, research shows, leads to things like depression, cognitive decline, poor wound healing, and delayed cancer recovery. And did you know that just a few years ago, 1,500 women were studied in California. Women with a large social network had a 26% less likely to get dementia than those who did not have a large social network. And women who had daily contact with friends and family were 47% less likely to get dementia. Are you aware of any drug on the market today that can give you that kind of protection from dementia? I'm not. Are you aware of almost anything that can give you that kind of protection from dementia? I'm not aware of those things. I'd love to find out if you are aware. But friendship and social networks are key to resiliency with dementia. Now, a study specifically about video chat came out of Oregon in 2015, and they've continued the study. The study is called iConnect, but this was the initial study. And what Oregon Health and State University found, they found that with only 30 minutes a day of video chat over 6 weeks, there was a lasting impact on cognitive ability for people with mild cognitive impairment and people without. However, that did not hold true for people who use the phone instead of video chat. So very interesting. Even though I think the phone is sometimes more effective for a senior, what these researchers found was video chat made a bigger cognitive difference in the long term. And I think the reason is there's more going on when we're looking at someone's face than when we're just hearing their voice. There's more emotional and social things happening in our brain. Our neurology, we're hardwired to look at people's faces and read their eyes, read their eyebrows, read their lips. So there's a lot more going on than goes on with a phone call. So what are some age-friendly options, and how do I choose the best option? That's a really important question, especially if you're advising a family or trying to make the decision on your own. So I've divided some of the newer technologies that are specifically designed to be age-friendly in these 7 categories, and we'll go over them today. Now I'm going to go over them quickly. You're not going to have time to write everything down. However, I will be providing to Jennifer and Carol a link to a blog article that I wrote that has links to everything I will show you today. So if you want to learn more about a particular option, you can just go to the blog article, find it, click the link, and you'll be there, right? So I've divided in 7 ways, from most complex to the easiest possible thing to use, right? I can navigate a tablet or smartphone with my fingers as most complex. So I can navigate a tablet by voice. I can navigate a TV with a remote. I can push 1 or 2 buttons on a screen. I can answer a phone. I can read or look at printed photos that I manually thumb through, or I can simply lay there passively and receive messages to me without doing anything. So I'm going to show you options that fit each of those complexity levels. Now, you want to think about 2 factors when you're trying to decide which technology is best for a client or a family member. The first is, how significant is the dementia, if there is any dementia at all. If there's none, okay. If there's some mild, all right. If there's a lot, right, we got to think about those things. And we want to think about the life experience with new technologies. If someone is 70 and they never used anything but a TV and a telephone, they're going to need a different technology than an 80-year-old with mild dementia who programmed IBM's mainframes, right? That person is probably going to be able to handle some of the technologies better than someone without dementia who's younger than they are. So there's no one size fits all. You got to take those 2 factors into consideration. How long have they used some of the newer technologies outside of the TV and the phone? How have they, did they ever use a smartphone? Did they ever use a computer? Did they use a mouse? What did they use, right? And then how bad is the dementia progressing? You're also going to want to ask this question, especially if you're not living in the home doing it yourself. If you are trying to figure this out, how often is a helper present in the home? Some of the technologies I'll show you, you probably need someone who's popping by every so often to make sure it's plugged in, to make sure it's charged, to make sure it doesn't get out of Wi-Fi or something, right? Other technology I'll show you, it'll be fine. Like, it'll sit on the shelf and you pretty much don't need to do anything to it, right? How tech savvy are the helpers? Some technologies I'll show you work great if you've got a tech savvy person in the family who can set it up the first time. Others, you need someone tech savvy, right? Or you don't need someone tech savvy. And then how engaged are the family members, right? Some technologies are great for families that are going to schedule video chats and are going to make sure that they put it in their calendar and everybody's taking turns calling grandma. And other technologies are better for families that are like, you know, I'm really busy, I've got my life, and I can't fit this in. So there's technologies that help those families. And then where will the interaction take place? Is it going to take place in their easy chair? Are they going to be at the kitchen table? Will they be walking around? Where will the interaction take place? Because that's going to decide what kind of technologies you can use. So I'm going to talk first about the 3 big players in the technology space and their options. These are not necessarily age-friendly by design, although I'm sure they had designers thinking about that. So they're not marketed specifically to seniors, and they're not necessarily have all the safeguards that some of the other technology I'll show you have. But I think it's important to be aware of these things, because a lot of families are choosing these as their go-to option. So Facebook's option is called the Portal. They have 4 different options. They have a device that will sit on top of a TV, and you can use the TV for video chat. They have some tablet size items, and then they have something a little bigger that can sit on a table, like a dining room table, and the elder can sit in front of it and interact with it. And then you can see the price points there from $149 to $279 one time. A lot of the other technologies I'll show you today have some sort of monthly fee. These have no monthly fee, all right? I'll get to the downside of that in a little bit. But so Facebook's Portal, sleek, well-designed, seems to be a very thoughtful device that seems fairly easy to use. Amazon Echo, this is what their option looks like. This is the Echo Show. The Amazon Echo by itself does not have a screen, so it will not work for video chat, but the Echo Show does have a screen, and you can interact with multiple family members at the same time. Google has a product called the Hub Nest. You've probably seen some wacky commercials if you're watching YouTube these days by the star of Portlandia, who's going crazy trying to market this thing. But the Google Hub Nest is their option, similar to the Echo Show. So depending on who's your favorite, Amazon, Facebook, or Google, you're going to pick who you want, right? So the downsides, all right? So as you can see, really low cost. As far as it's a one-time cost, there's no monthly fee, right? That's a pretty good deal. Downside is, why is it free? Well, these companies sell our information. Like, that's how they make their money, right? Selling ads to us, trying to get us to buy things, selling our ads to various people, etc., right? So I can't vouch for how safe any of these are for a senior living at home. I don't know. Without the right technology help to set it up correctly with all the safeguards and all the back end settings, could someone else call grandma that you don't want calling grandma? Could a long lost friend, quote unquote, call grandma and tell her he needs some money? I don't know, right? You have to have a tech savvy person to go into the back end and really make sure they've locked down who can call grandma using this. The other systems I'm going to show you today, they're built for the purpose of locking it down. These are not built for that purpose. However, I believe from what I've read, it can be done. You just have to be very tech savvy. So some families are going to love this because it's cheap, it's easy, the whole family's already on Facebook, great, no problem. Other things I'm going to show you are built specifically for seniors. So let's start with those. So I can navigate a tablet or smartphone with my fingers. So we'll start with the GrandPad. Most of you are familiar with the GrandPad. GrandPad has done a really good job of marketing themselves. They're now available at Target. You can walk down to your local Target, pick it up, and in 5 minutes, you're ready to go. This is probably one of the most complex options in the fact that it offers the most options for a senior. They can call, they can use their camera, they can do a variety of things on this device, right? They can look at photos, they can transcribe emails, they click email and bam, it'll transcribe their voice into an email to their family. They can, again, surf the internet, play games, all those things. Big, easy to use buttons. You can see that they've got the, how should I say it? They've got really easy buttons on the screen so that senior is not easily distracted by other buttons. It's an app that locks it down so you can't kind of get out of the senior friendly version and go into the regular iPhone app or iPad app, right? It's locked down so you can only use the buttons you see on the screen, right? You can see the docking station underneath it. You can see that it's easy to call for support if you're having trouble. The docking station is very easy. They don't have to plug some cord into it. They just set it inside, bam, it's ready to go. Pictures start coming across the screen and we're good. So a really, really well thought out design, actually. Now, the thing about GrandPad is that they only work with 4G and cellular service. The benefit of that is you don't have to worry about getting that iPad connected to the Wi-Fi. There's no, I can't get into my tablet, you know, and it's like, well, we need to put the code for the Wi-Fi in, grandma. Well, how do you get to the code of the Wi-Fi, right? None of that, because it's always connected to the internet through cell service. So you would use a T-Mobile account to connect the GrandPad to the internet. And it's set up that way. You can't buy it without doing that. Now, Bald Phone, this is an example of what a senior-friendly phone might look like. Now, Bald Phone is free. It's an app that you download to a typical smartphone, and it changes the phone so that it becomes more senior-friendly. So as you can see, they're using bold colors, they're using muted colors, they're using really strong contrast, but not a lot of white to deal with glare and stuff like that. They've got big icons, right? So you can see what they're trying to do there to make it a little easier to navigate the smartphone versus trying to navigate lots of small little icons and go back and forth between all those things. Now, there are other senior-friendly phones like the Jitterbug that we could cover today, but I'm not going to cover that because typically seniors who can use those things, they really don't need what we're talking about today. However, that's a presentation in itself, is senior-friendly smartphones. But I wanted to give you at least one example. If someone is able to use a smartphone, something they could use that's free to make it a little easier. Now, Oscar is similar to GrandPad, except you don't buy a tablet through them. You simply pay a subscription for the software that will run the senior-friendly tablet. Similar concept, different colors, pictures that families can quickly click on and see who they want to call, right? The elder can click a picture and bam, they're calling or emailing the person. The family has their own app where they're able to control grandma's device remotely. So they can lock down who can call grandma, who cannot call grandma, can she go on the internet and buy things or not, right? They can lock it all down to be just what is needed. GrandCare is similar. GrandCare also is a tablet with very senior-friendly apps all built in. I personally think it's a little busier, a little harder to see for an elder where to go, a lot going on the screen. I like the bigger icons we saw on the GrandPad and Oscar Care. However, this device does include a lot of sensors for the home, sensors for the body. So if you're caring for someone in a distance, you need to check their temperature, you need to check their oxygen levels, glucose, etc. It all feeds into the same device. So the family or the healthcare professional can monitor remotely. FamilyNet is currently a free app in beta. What they've done is they tried to make an app that you can use on any device at all, and will do things like translate between a grandparent who speaks one language and a grandchild who speaks another, or it will put, if you say something, it will put it into type, or if you type something, it'll put it into voice. So they tried to make it very accessible for different generations that want to stay connected, but are having trouble because we communicate differently. That's their model. That's what they're trying to accomplish. And it is currently free right now. It's FamilyNet. I think .com or .org. Together, this is a very interesting one. It's out of Israel, and it's just hit the United States in the past couple weeks. I really like what they're doing. As you know, this is really good for people living with dementia, this particular app. You all are aware by now of how powerful music is with people living with dementia. Right? You all have seen the videos about how we are able to unlock memories and unlock parts of our personality when we play someone's favorite music for them. All right, so Together was solving that issue with an app that would figure out an elder's favorite playlist, kind of using artificial intelligence. But what they just added to it is what I think really makes it powerful. They've added the capability to video chat with grandma. And let me tell you, this is especially awesome for people with dementia. So what Together was doing before was just created a great app for being able to play someone's favorite music to them, especially someone living with dementia, and to keep track of how it was helping them. Well, what they've done now is they've integrated video chat with listening to music. So now you can listen to music with an elder at the same time and see their face and they can see yours. Especially for dementia, this is a powerful thing, because if the person with dementia is not able to carry on full-on conversations, listening to music with them may unlock incredible memories, may unlock joy and other emotions, and may provide a deeply engaging experience for connecting with one another. So I'm very excited they have developed this, because I think this has a lot of potential, especially for anyone at any level of dementia, to be able to connect with music. As you can see, this device is tracking facial signs of what this music is doing to the person, how they're responding to it. It is reading them emotionally, and it is cataloging that so it can better suggest songs that this person might actually like, that this person might actually find helpful. And I believe you can tell the system whether you want to kind of engage the person and make them more joyful and more ready to laugh, or whether you want to calm them down because they're in a little high-strung mood and you want to calm them down a bit. Together is available both for the family who's got one elder that they love, or for senior living organizations and hospitals that want to roll this out to all of their patients or residents. Here's a quick breakdown of the pricing for the various options I've just went over. And you can see it ranges from about $700 for the GrandCare tablet with all the various tools and accessories and sensors, down to $99 for the Together app, right? It's a range. Some of them have monthly fees, as you can see, and some of them have no monthly fees. So it gives you a good range, because part of what you're also thinking through, I'm sure, is the affordability of the option that you're considering. I can navigate a tablet by voice. So this is going to go back to using the Alexa Echo Show, the Echo Show by Amazon. These are Alexa skills that make the Echo Show easier to use for the senior. These are specifically designed to make it easy for the senior to interact by voice with the Echo Show. They don't need to touch it. They can just talk to it. And they can do that anyway with the Echo Show, but this is designed specifically for seniors to keep them safe, have the private family network, and to have specific skills that make it really easy for the senior to just talk, and the Alexa Show helps them. So SoundMind created the first Alexa skill, and it will give engaging content, like helping them play Jeopardy, helping them listen to music, news, podcasts, help maintain a healthy routine longer, reminding them it's time to stretch, it's time to exercise, time for a walk, time to get a drink of water. It will help them take a trip down memory lane. You can build a legacy kind of album, if you will, and it will respond to them. It will remind them, hey, remember your wedding day? And it will show them pictures of their wedding day, or play music from their wedding day, right? So it will stimulate reminiscing. Instant video calling right out of the box. One of the things I love about this option is you buy the Echo Show through SoundMind, and they will set it up ahead of time with Wi-Fi passwords and everything. You set it up from like a smartphone ahead of time when you buy it. And then when it arrives at the senior's house, literally all they have to do is plug it into the wall. So if they can plug it into the wall, they can use this. There's nothing else that they have to do. Just start talking. Hi, are you there? And it will start interacting with them. And they will be able to call you, interact with you, and they didn't have to press a single button. They just plug it in. Super dead simple. BrioCare is also trying to create something that will be really helpful for the senior market. They don't have as much information on their website about kind of all the details of how this works, but basically they also, and I should note, this image is showing a typical Echo, but they have a skill for the Echo Show so that you can talk to family members face to face. You don't have to just use the voice version. But again, similar to SoundMind, they're incorporating all those reminders to help you stay healthy, brain games, music, and communication with family members. You can see they're both exactly the same price, other than the fact that you do buy your Echo Show through SoundMind directly versus going to Amazon. You will pay $20 a month in order to have this skill added to the Alexa Show. I can navigate a TV with a remote. This is a particularly exciting area of development. For a long time, I don't think we could find anything where you could video chat on TV. I had looked over the past year or two, found nothing, and then all of a sudden there's like 5 options. So kudos to all who are developing these TV video chat options. So most of these are, you literally buy a box, and the box has attachments to the TV. You hook them up to the TV, kind of like the Facebook portal by Facebook, except they have, again, senior-friendly options. So Cradle is the first one. I think Cradle looks like the easiest to navigate from all the ones I've seen. It has only 4 buttons on the remote control, which I absolutely love that they got it down to 4 buttons. It is managed through simply moving left and basically saying yes or no, yes or no, yes or no, and it will navigate to whether you want to do a video call, do you want to look at pictures your family have sent you, do you want to join maybe a group activity that's online that you can participate in yoga or exercise class or a sing-along, do you want to talk to your doctor, right? Those kind of things. Makes it very simple with just 4 buttons to press. Connects to your TV, the HDMI cord, and you're pretty much good to go. They have also, the downside to Cradle is they're only available for organizations right now. Families can't go out and purchase a Cradle. and it's not yet in the United States. They are looking for some partners in the United States to roll out in the US market, and I so hope somebody will partner because they've got a very robust product. Their product also does integrate with up to 10 health and medical and wellness sensors if you want to do remote monitoring of patients. Hey Herbie is available in the United States for the family caregiver as well as the professional. They didn't have very many screenshots on their screen of exactly what this looks like, but we know from their website that they do offer video chat with your family. You can see group activities, watch local news, and stream content, online content. You get this in a box. It comes to you, you hook it onto your TV, and you're good to go to be able to do video chat straight from your TV. This option is an option called Sirona TV. Sirona TV is, again, very similar to, actually, that's Hey Herbie. That's actually Hey Herbie right there. Sorry, guys. I got the wrong slide there. That's a picture of Hey Herbie when it's out of the box, and you can see it on the TV screen. All right, Sirona TV. Sirona TV is another option. It has a little more buttons on the remote, but it does include things like games and weather, and it's kind of a different format than some of the other options. This is what comes in the box, and you can get it all set up pretty quickly, pretty easily. Independa is yet another option. They are available. They're pretty robust system there. I was pretty impressed by all the things they had integrated, from a planner to stories to video chat. You got a lot going on. This is what comes in the box. You've got video chat, photo sharing, smart reminders, messages, and a call button to be able to quickly call somebody in the family. You can see the way that it's laid out on the TV screen, so it's very easy to move back and forth, and it integrates pretty well. If they're watching TV, the notifications come anyway over the TV that they're watching, so they don't have to kind of move into the app to experience things. They can just be watching TV, and then a reminder will come up, or a message will say, hey, do you want to talk to your daughter? She's calling you right now from her baseball game, right? And you can immediately engage, or just see a picture that someone in your family sent to you, right? Now, Independa, they're not as open on their website with their pricing and exactly how this works, and so it definitely raises my my concern as I look at the website and I see the emails that come back to me, etc. As it's kind of hidden as to exactly how much is this going to cost you and stuff. So I'm always a big fan of transparency. So just make sure when you contact Independa that you get all the facts straight up. They probably have them all in a document. We'll send them right to you. But as of this event, they had not had them sent to me yet. So if I do this event again, I certainly will be integrating any new information. But yeah, definitely you want to make sure that there's no hidden contracts, no hidden fees. Make sure that it's totally on the line as exactly what you have to pay and what's included and what's not included. But I really like their system because it was so robust and clean and sleek. I really like that about them. Uniper Care is they're doing some really cool things. One of the things they're doing is they're really lining up all kinds of activities for you. Now again, this one is only available, I believe, to organizations at the moment. It's not a business to consumer product yet. But if you are running an organization of any kind, their kind of spin is that they build in all kinds of live activities and recorded activities that the seniors can go to and participate in, as well as video chat with their families. So it's kind of a whole lineup of classes, lifelong learning and fitness classes, wellness classes, socialization opportunities, kind of all ready to go. You don't have to create them yourself, right? You can participate right away, very quickly. You can see other people who are participating, and it's all within kind of a safety net. So you're only going to classes that are approved classes, vetted classes that are part of your network. You can't just be surfing the internet to find these classes. You can see there's quite a library of opportunities for folks to be able to participate right from their home at their TV. Again, here's the pricing. You can receive these slides from me later if you like. It ranges from about $150 one-time fee to monthly fees ranging from $10 up to $75 a month. So quite a range depending on the service and depending really on what you're getting and the quality of it and how much telehealth you're using. That's generally where you see the cost rise. As the more telehealth features, the more expensive it gets. I can push 1 or 2 buttons on a screen. Like, I can do that. If that's where the person's at, then these are some options that might work great. Comp is not available in the United States yet, but it should be soon. So you can sign up to be on their mailing list and find out when they're available in the United States. Their whole plan is to create something that looks and feels like a very old-fashioned TV. I'll tell you, I've got some relatives, they cannot use the remote control. Like, that's too hard. They are used to a dial on a TV. That's what they're used to. And so let's give them a dial. Let's make this so easy that they can use a dial and maybe click a button on the screen. Let's make it look just like the kind of TVs that they grew up with. So that's comp. And I really like where they're going with that because I know I have an aging relative right now who would benefit significantly from this device. This was comes in the box. Soshi Avi, really a pioneer in this space. Their mission was to create a device, not a TV, not a tablet, not anything else that's on the market, that was designed specifically for seniors. Design it specifically for their unique challenges and needs, right? That was their goal, and it continues to be their goal. So they have a device that stands up by itself. It can sit next to the bed in a nursing home, right? In an assisted living, at home, across from where they normally sit. And the elder can either make calls or the family can make calls to them. You can set it up where the calls from family are auto answered, so they don't even have to press a button. They just hear a ring and here comes a family member. That's really helpful if someone cannot use a device at all, but could sit and look when someone rings in. You can see the format that they use, the way the screen looks when a call's coming in. Makes it very easy to just click. And you can send pictures to the frame, so folks can be looking at pictures all day, even if you can't be on a video chat with them. Makes it very easy interface. Includes reminders that will pop up as needed. And this is a peek into what the family app looks like, because the family interacts with the device through their own app. So family members on their smartphone send pictures and videos and create a phone call with the device from their smartphone. Connect is very much like Sociavi in the sense that the two of them are trying to create a supremely ability age friendly device. That's their goal. Like, anybody should be able to use these devices. That is their plan. That is their hope. Connect, I think one of the things that they've really honed in on is physical disabilities as well as cognitive disabilities. Really looked at, okay, how can we help people who are almost deaf, people who are hard of hearing? Okay, let's include closed captioning into that software. Let's make sure we can support multiple languages. Let's make sure we can support different physical configurations. Does it need to be hanging over a bed? Does it need to be on a pole? Does it need to be on a cart? Like, let's figure out how we can make this so easy that anybody with any ability level can participate in it. They're also one of the few ones that I found where the screen itself can be touched by anything. So you do not have to use the human finger or a special pointer. You can use gloved hands. You could use hands on a sock. You could use a regular pencil. Like, whatever you have available to you to touch the screen, you can touch the screen. You don't need to worry about making sure someone's using a finger or a special device. They base this on Skype as the underlying tool. From my recollection, Skype is what's underlying it, and so they're able to also do some screen sharing where you can screen share and show pictures and stuff, which a lot of the other devices, we wouldn't be able to do that. As you can see, it's very easy to look at with the face and the name, big print And two options, reject or answer the call. Going to be really easy for someone to use this. I love the transcription because we are working with people who are hard of hearing, and even though they've got loud speakers, the transcription can make all the difference in being able to communicate with someone you care about. It's going to print what you're saying. I mean, they've really thought of almost everything. View clicks is a little simpler version of the last two. Again, it's a tablet or a screen that makes it very simple. Basically, all it does, I mean, I'm sure it does more than this, but all it does is it receives photos and allows for video chat. It also allows for reminders. It's super simple. It's not, you're not trying to play games on this. You're not trying to talk to your doctor on this. Like, this is for communicating as a family and staying in connection. Very, very simple. Very simple. I love it. I just love how simple it is, right? And it's very affordable. As you can see, you have $50 a month for the comp, which is not available in the USA, the TV-looking item. Sociavi is $24 a month plus a one-time fee of $5.95. The View Clicks is $2.99 one time, no monthly fee, and Connect is $6.95 plus the $25 a month membership. So you have a variety of options there, and you're going to get what you pay for as far as the number of features and the level of how disability friendly the device is. I can answer a phone. That's where I'm at. I can answer a phone. I can pick up an old-fashioned landline, right? Okay, if we're in that situation, right? I mean, there's a lot we can do without technology. However, one of the things that we find a lot is that family members just have trouble remembering to call, or call at the wrong time. The elder is sleeping, the elder is at a meal, the elder is not available, or the elder is trying to call family members and they're at work. They're with their kids, putting their kids to bed. They're at church. They're at the bar with their friends, right? And so it becomes very challenging to really make phone calls among 6 to 10 family members to the elder happening frequently. It might be happening every quarter, every 6 months, but is it happening once a week? Is it happening every month? Is it really happening? It's not because people don't want to do it. It's just because it's really hard to coordinate schedules in today's world. So I am so excited about Family Jam. Let me tell you, I found out about them last night. Again, I mean, I just can't believe how fast this stuff is being developed. This team has created a system that there's no app involved. All you do is you go to a website, you put in the phone numbers of the family members that are interested in all connecting with Grandpa. And what it does is it learns what time of day works for each person. So what will happen is Grandpa will get a call. I'll say, hey, Grandpa, do you want to talk to someone in your family? If you do, stay on the line. And then it calls the person that it guesses is most available right now. And it learns if the person doesn't pick up, it doesn't call them again at that time, at least for a while. It tries a different time. And it might try another family member who also could be available at that time. And so it learns what time of day works for the elder and for each person in the family. And it learns this over time. It won't learn it right away, as it has some features at the beginning, first week, to be able to start learning the family's patterns. But then it just takes time to learn the family. But as it learns, it gets better and better. And pretty soon you're getting calls when you're most available and they're most available. And I absolutely love this. Me and my family need this, and I may be trying it. And I love how they set it up so that each of the family members can be part of this. It's only $15 a month. I mean, it's an amazing deal. I can read or look at printed photos. All right, so some seniors, like, no matter what we do, technology is just not going to be their thing. Like, it's just not. Maybe they're still taking a phone call, but you want more. They want more from you, and you want more from them. You want to share more of your life with them, but they're not going to do video chat. They don't like FaceTime. They don't read email, whatever, but they still read. Okay, this new service called Familio, oh my gosh, it is a game changer. So check this out. Once a month or every week, it's up to you, your grandparent, your parent, your uncle receives a newsletter specifically for them. And it's got pictures and notes from the family that have been collected over the past month. And you might say, that's a lot of work. We we got to go in, lay out the stuff, upload all these photos. No. Yeah, there's lots of options that you can do that right now. This option is so different. Basically, family members get an app and they upload pictures to it and put little comments on it. At the end of the month, it takes the kind of the last 30 and it throws it into the newsletter automatically, and it automatically sends them the newspaper. I mean, can you get any simpler than this? And as you know, so many elders love to read and retain their reading ability late into their life, late into dementia. This is really powerful. Imagine an elder living at home alone or living in a senior living community with some dementia, not able to navigate all the new technologies, but they're delivered this. They're handed this by somebody, and they get to review it all month long or all week long, depending on your subscription level. Here's an example newsletter, just so you can see how it's laid out. Easy, fairly big print, pictures are really blown up. It lays out the pictures very well. This is just incredible to me. And it's so cheap. It's $7.45 a month if you do once a month delivery. If you do 4 magazines a month, it's $22.75 a month. I mean, incredible. Can you imagine you get the whole family engaged, the 6 kids and the 10 grandkids and the 12 great grandkids, and they're all sharing pictures and stuff. I mean, how awesome to be able to pull that together with literally nothing but posting a picture from your phone. I mean, they've really made this simple. And then finally, I can receive messages that play automatically. All right, that's kind of the most simple. Like, I can do nothing. I'm laying in a bed and I can't do anything, but messages come through automatically. And Soci, Avi, Connect, and ViewClicks, which we already covered, all 3 do that. So you've got your those are covering that need. Messages will play, pictures will come. The person doesn't have to do anything as long as you set that setting that way. A couple bonus options real quick. I know we're running out of time. If you need to go, I think we've probably hit the hour mark. This is recorded and we've really covered everything you need to know today. You feel free to get the slides from me. Just email me. Thank you for joining me. I will go on for a few more minutes just to make sure I wrap things up, but please do not feel like you have to stay. Thank you so much for learning about this important, very critical intervention for seniors across the United States. So Heart Legacy, this is only available for senior living communities, but I bring it up because I think a lot of senior living communities are struggling right now to figure out what to do. Home health, senior living, home care, struggling with what to do. Like, how do we implement video chat? It's really hard to schedule video chats with the family members, make sure everybody's available at the same time, etc. Heart Legacy kind of solves all that for a senior living environment or a home health or even a hospital environment. Basically what happens is the team that's supporting the elder will record them telling a story, record them sharing a message, record them saying a bit of wisdom, whatever, and then that automatically gets sent just to the family members associated with that person. They click the name, bam, everybody that is associated with AJ gets that message. And then all of AJ's family get to respond. They get to send pictures and videos right back wherever they are. So this is a great option if you run any kind of organization, extremely affordable, and it makes it possible to do asynchronous communication between residents and their families, patients and their families. You don't have to try to be scheduling video chats when everybody's available at the same time, especially if you're short-staffed because of whatever's going on in your community, in your city right now. It gives you the option to, okay, it's 4 o'clock. Let's see what messages came through and connect people to the people that they love. Qt is not available yet. However, I think it's coming. They're working on this right now. It's a movable little robot that can move around the house to where the elder is. So the elder is forgetting they're there or doesn't know what to do. It can come and remind them, hey, your family might like to talk to you. Whereas a lot of other devices can get lost. They can get put into a drawer, right? It can be hard unless you're using the TV or one of those really heavy screens. It can get lost. Qt is not going to get lost. It might walk away, I guess, but it's not going to get lost. So Qt will let you do video chat as well as participate in all kinds of programming, group programming or one-on-one programming. I'm assuming that we'll find pricing as soon as it's available in the United States. So if I'm consulting with a family, I'm going to be asking these 4 questions along with the questions I asked earlier, right? If I've reviewed all this technology, I'm going to look at these questions. What will be frustration free for my aging relative? What will my family actually use? Does everyone have the right kind of device? Does it match our lifestyle and habits, right? Some options may only work on Android or on iPhone, or they may only work on computer. And is the family actually going to use it, right? Will they really do video chat? Or do people not do that in your family, right? Would they perhaps post a picture that could be in a newspaper, right? Would they pick up the phone if someone called them and was like, hey, you ready to talk to grandma? Every family is different. So you got to fit this into the lifestyle. Don't try to make the family fit the technology. Find the technology that fits the family, okay? That's critical. Number 3, will our system be failure free? Is the power source easy to use? Will powering on be easy, right? When I say failure free, what I mean is this something that's going to die in a week because they don't know how to plug it in? Is it something that if they can actually turn off and they're not at the place in their life where they will remember how to turn it on? So you're going to have to be coaching them constantly on how to turn it back on, right? Find the system that will be failure free for the environment and for the person that you're caring for. And then, is it fun to use? Make sure it's a device that's doesn't cause you frustration, cause you a lot of like, oh, I hate using this thing. It never works right, whatever. Make sure it's a device that just feels fun to use. You're like, you want to use it. It inspires you. Not like, oh my gosh, what is this thing, right? You want to be in that frame of mind. So my name is Benjamin Surmi, and I am eager to support you. Please email me if you've got any questions, or if you would like the slides from today, or the link to the rough draft blog article that I'm writing that has all the links to each company, so that you can ask for a demo from one of the companies, so that you can watch the videos, because a lot of these companies have videos showing exactly how to use it. I'm happy to send that to you. Thank you for what you're doing to engage either your own family member or to engage the people that you take care of as a professional. This is one of the most critical conversations we can have in our country right now. How do we help our elders stay engaged no matter where they are, no matter what cognitive level they're at, no matter what ability level they're at, no matter how old they are, no matter how much they love or don't love technology, they can stay connected with family and friends.